Hey, everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Moreno Show. Hope you guys are feeling good today. It is another big and beautiful day. Obviously, not everywhere, not with every subject, but you know what? There are some moments where I think people are just going to pause and say, you know what? I don't like everything that's happening with the Trump administration, but I do like some of the things. And some of the things include, check this out, with Coca-Cola using real cane sugar in the United States. Holy smoke, this is a big deal. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I don't know how big of a deal this is, but you know what? This is going to impact so many people because people like this stuff. I'm not endorsing it, but I'm just saying, you know what? If it's going to happen, why not? Let's make it happen the best possible way. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. And please consider like and subscribing if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. So President Trump went ahead and posted this on Truth Social, his platform. He says, I have been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see. It's just better. And you know what? I gotta agree with them. I do have firsthand experience in this arena. Those Mexican Coke bottles do hit different, as those young kids say. So I saw this. I thought it was great. It was shared by the White House a few hours ago. And to no one's surprise, a lot of people they have a lot of mixed feelings. You know, some people like it, and some people are like completely ignoring it, saying no one cares about soda right now. Release the Epstein Files. All right. So that is definitely a huge subject matter. And you know, we've been spending a lot of time talking about Epstein lately, and a lot of people have essentially just disregarded this moment because they are just very upset about it. Even the infamous, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you can't ignore him, even if you try. The Democrat governor of California, Gavin Newsom, says, oh, thank goodness. I've totally forgotten about the Epstein files now. Yeah, right, of course. But you know what? Thank goodness so many people actually ended up responding to him to make him look like a complete fool of himself and to actually shine a little bit of transparency into how ridiculous this all is. Look at this. LA Liberty says, at Grok, how many times did Gavin Newsom request the release of all the Epstein files during the Biden administration? Please check all X posts and other public social media platforms. And Grok's like, you know what? He's never actually talked about this before. Like, nada at all. He's made 0 public requests for the release of the Epstein files during the Biden administration. Okay, this is ridiculous. And even Kazin is out here saying, did you advocate for the release of the files before it became a controversy for your political opposition? You know, I just love that how right now conservatives are like, you know what? Like, yes, we want President Trump to release the files, but we're also not going to stand for like these high-ranking Democrat officials to be using this as like a political game right now. Like, stop trying to gain cheap points. Make it about the victims. Make it about justice. Make it about transparency. Stop trying to play your game. Okay, so I do love that. But back to the original concept of this video. I feel like I wasn't trying to talk about all that. I wanted this to be a kind of a positive politics sort of thing, but I kept getting dragged in. Ridiculous. But I did see this. I thought this was interesting. Saw it from Anna Matson. She says President Trump says Coca-Cola has agreed to use real cane sugar in Coke. A spokesperson for the brand says they appreciate President Trump's enthusiasm, and more details on a new innovative offerings within our Coca-Cola product lines will be shared soon. Okay, it's unclear the company will fully replace a high fructose corn syrup. So there you go. A little bit of transparency there, but very interesting nonetheless. And if you're wondering what RFK Jr. is saying about this, because RFK Jr. always celebrates, you know, the wins on his Sec Kennedy account. And to my surprise, he actually hasn't commented on this. I'm actually not that surprised. I have my notifications on for my boy Sec Kennedy. But he actually hasn't talked about this. The last time he posted was 4 hours ago. And he said, glad to see Walk's Fruit Snack taking action to remove synthetic dyes from their products. I urge other companies to step up and make America healthy again. Sorry, and help us make America healthy again. So hopefully he talks about this soon. I can't imagine this being something that that he doesn't approach with enthusiasm. I feel like this is just, you know, it's just good. Right, Benny Harry also responded to the Walks of Fruit snack rolling out a new recipe. They said another one bites the dust. I Love it. And guys, I also wanted to share this awesome moment from hhs.gov whenever they were talking about companies implementing MAHA policy. I thought it was great. I'm just going to play a minute of this, but I did think it was worth sharing. So check this out. It's huge.
On screen, more than a dozen major companies have joined the MAHA movement. Secretary Kennedy mentioned 40% of the companies are on board. Is that those that we're seeing right now here?
Well, I will say this is the latest in a string of wins for MAHA. What you're seeing for the first time in history is that the major food companies, these big food, is really back, reeling on its heels. And that has happened because Secretary Kennedy and Trump have really swept the whole field in terms of nutrition policy and health. You know, it used to be an issue on the left that they would be defending real food, whole food, slow food against ultra-processed foods. The Republicans have usurped all those issues. You know, now it's Republican moms who are advocating for whole milk, and Secretary Kennedy is arguing against sugar. That is a 180 political reverse in politics.
Sure,
and what you see here is tremendous wins on the part of MAHA. And, you know, I think the next win that we really have coming up that is huge is going to be the change in the U.S. dietary guidelines for Americans, which is really going to have the greatest impact on the average American.
Okay, so I love this so much. I love how she just said that big food is reeling right now to their knees. I thought that was hilarious. But I also love this just idea that I've been kind of championing for the last essentially since the beginning, ever since RFK Jr. championed this idea. He said that this isn't a left thing, this isn't a right thing, this is just a humanity thing. All right, this is just about the children, this is just about the people who are consuming all these products, all this food. If we're going to do it, we might as well do it the best possible way. And you know what, these companies are already producing this food that is just a healthier and more nutritious in other countries, then we might as well do right by the people here right now. The companies already have the recipes, they already have the ingredients, they might as well give us the better food. What are we doing here? All right, this is simple stuff. So I also wanted to share this because, you know, companies that pledge to end food dyes, check out all of this. We have Tyson, we have Nestle, we have PepsiCo, we have Smuckers. And in the beginning, you see how they have all of this. Look at this. Companies taking steps to improve food supply in and out. Hershey, Sam's Club, Kraft, PepsiCo. Like, are you kidding me? And now another one of those companies is apparently Coca-Cola. All right. I like it. I really do. Anyways, guys, that is the video. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. Is this a win, or do you think this is a distraction like some Democrats think? I don't know. To me, I'm probably just going to take this as a win because you know what? The news cycle has been dominated recently by a very specific character, and I'm overwhelmed like all of you guys. You know, all this is just incredibly stressful, and I'm trying to take the wins where I can, when I can, right? And some people, I was looking at a comment and saw one person say, like, "Oh my gosh, I just can't, I can't get over you're too overly positively coping." And it's like, you know what, you're probably right, but I did respond with saying that I would rather be wrong about believing for a better future than be right about just not believing that people are telling the truth and just having this very cynical world view. And you know, I do understand some people they're more realistic in how they approach things. They understand, you know, human psychology and human behavior. And you know what, all respect to you guys, but I did make a promise to myself that if I was going to do this, if I was going to talk to about the news, if I was going to be invested in this space, I was going to do it without losing who I was. Like, I like to smile. I like to believe in people. I like this positive worldview that I have. You know, and I think there's a lot of people who watch these videos who do as well. All right. So I'm gonna be smiling. I'm gonna take this as a win when I can. And yeah, anyways, that's the video. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section, and I will see you guys all next time. Also, you made it this far, why don't you go ahead and consider subscribing? It really does make a huge difference. All right, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Episode's over. Already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.